Welcome to the Save Poor Golf Podcast, where two average golfers talk about golf and things. I'm your host, Derek.
Welcome back, Derek.
Welcome back. I am back. Feels good. This is Dom.
I did you listen to the Friendsgiving one?
A little bit of it. Yeah.
Asshole. You didn't listen to all of it?
No.
I tried to call you.
Honestly,
I'm just kidding.
I actually had an update on my iPhone the other day, and I haven't been able to access my podcast, any of it.
Really?
So I got to reinstall it.
So I didn't call you. I was like, hey guys, Greg's having a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, his wife's in labor. I'm like, if I call him, he'll pick up for sure. And I sit there and I'm calling him.
Nothing.
And I'm like, Greg, you fucking dick. And then he messages me. He's like, bro, I was asleep. I was like, your wife's having your first kid, and this is like the biggest moment of your life, and you're asleep.
That's terrible.
And he goes, yeah, I asked her if she slept well.
Quite the intro. Anyway, we are currently on episode 156. We have a very special guest today. We have Taylor with RIVL Golf. They provide premium quality golf products to players of all abilities at unbeatable prices. Make sure to give them a follow on Instagram. Their handle is at RIVL Golf. That's RIVL GOLF. Taylor, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast, man.
Thanks, guys, for having me. Third podcast. Yeah. Super excited to be with you guys on this one.
Good. We're happy to have you, and we're excited to learn more about RIVL Golf. And with that being said, what inspired the creation of RIVL Golf, and where does the name RIVL come from? Because I know it's spelled obviously RIVL.
So I guess before you talk about that, what is RIVL Golf?
RIVL Golf is a direct-to-consumer golf brand that is supposed to help grow the game of golf by making it more affordable and accessible to everybody.
We like that.
Yeah. Yeah, RIVL kind of came about from, I was in the golf industry from the time I was 16 to the time I was 28. I worked up to be a general manager. And it's just too expensive. So we would buy merchandise for the pro shops, and we'd buy a Vokey for like $110, resell it for $180. And nowadays, everything's going to direct to consumer. I mean, you look at Amazon, you look at all the direct to consumer brands. It's much more affordable because you cut out the middleman. My buddy was replacing his Vokeys with used Vokeys, and I'm like, "Why are you doing that?" He didn't want to spend $180 on a new Vokey. So I was like, "Well, I've got to be able to source a premium product from different manufacturers." I mean, there's manufacturers all over the world that have good quality. And we ended up going to 10 different manufacturers, got wedges sent to us. We told them what we wanted, and we picked out the best manufacturer out of all of them. We did a ton of testing. So we'd go to the PGA Superstore on their simulators, really high-end simulators, and do all the testing. And the one that we have is the one that had the best results.
Very cool. So going back to the original question, and so what I know you talked about what inspired you, but so where did the name come from? How'd you come up with that?
So I wanted to have like a rivaled premium. I wanted to rival the quality of the major manufacturers, sure. And so I wanted to have an unrivaled affordability. So I wanted to be much more affordable, but be that same premium. So basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to rival the major brands, but be a DTC brand that hopefully one day will be a major brand that is DTC only.
Sure. That makes sense. So a long time ago, we had Josh with Haywood Golf. I mean, I've seen he does more of he does a little bit of everything, but
Shadow Josh.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, we haven't talked to him in a while, but kind of the same concept, right? Like you not only wanted to put out a quality product, but you also want to put it at an affordable price for somebody you can skip the middleman and not have to, worry about that markup.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you go into a PGA Superstore, you go into any golf shop, any golf store, you're paying 40, 30, 50% more than you need to just because it's in that store.
For sure. I like that. It's really cool. When did you start RIVL Golf?
We started selling in May. And since May, we've gotten wedges, putters, golf bags, towels. We have hats and shirts coming, like streetwear type stuff. So it's just everyday stuff that people will be able to rock.
So what's been, so you're a fairly new company. What's been one of your toughest challenges? Has it been trying to just get your name out there? Like what's been one of the tougher challenges for you?
I think one of the toughest challenges is growing the Instagram page, because you got a lot of people who are skeptical. Like when you start Instagram, right, as you know, you have 0 followers, and then you're trying to sell this product and you have 50 followers, and people are like, I'm going to wait till other people buy it. So it's kind of just growing your following, I think, is the biggest thing. But I think so far we've done pretty good. We have about 5,300 followers, and we've done it since about March. We don't have 160,000 followers like you guys, but hopefully years down the road we will be.
Sure.
And I think that's our biggest thing. We don't really spend any money on advertising right now, because I feel like if I spend money on advertising, people are going to go to my landing page, which is my Instagram, and they're going to see I have 5,000 followers, or before I had 500 or 1,000 followers, and not necessarily think I'm a reputable brand. So I think I would be wasting a lot of money kind of advertising dollars at that point. So right now we do 0 advertising. A lot of it's kind of growing it through marketing, through doing the giveaways. We do the chipping giveaways, the guess the distance giveaways. We partner with other brands as well. We partner with other Instagram pages as well.
Yep. Yeah.
I will say, I hate to say it, but I have done that before, where I see an ad and I'm like, ooh, that looks really cool. And I click on it and I'm like, oh, you have 20 followers.
Yeah.
Like it's not that I'm like, oh, damn, the follower counts matter, because it really doesn't. You know, we've been turned down by certain guests because of our follower numbers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's not how we do things here. But I worry that I'm like, man, it seems too good to be true. Like, is it fake? The first thing I always do is click on the website. I'm like, damn, like what are the reviews? Is it reputable? Stuff like that. So I've heard many good things about you and your clubs and your bags and everything. Whether it was from Alvin with their podcast, love Alvin and Chris, or it was Cam. I mean, Cam is from Rush Golf. Shout out Cam.
Yeah.
Cam is one of the best dudes I've ever seen when it comes to marketing via word of mouth.
He is.
Like that dude is 110% in with whoever he likes.
Yep.
Like the dude today put out a video. He's wearing Jordan 5s and overalls. I'm like,
I love the overalls, dude. I'm about to get myself a set of overalls just because Rush.
Dude, he is inspiring me. But he came out here like we were talking before, and he's like, Dom, I could teach you how to juggle this golf ball, and I swear to God, like 10 minutes. And then he never did. And I was like, but it's the thought that matters, right? And I was like, like there's not a chance. And he goes, bro, you just gotta believe. So Cam, like you're partnering with people that are doing a tremendously good job spreading awareness for your company.
That helps tremendously,
right?
I think it's huge. I think like it's a golf community, right? I think you kind of got to get in with the golf community, and hopefully they like your product because it's a good product, and hopefully they spread the word about it. But it's a very tight knit community.
It is. I will say, I don't really do a whole lot of them right now because I've been pretty stagnant on my posting. However, but for a while, you see some of these accounts will reach out to you, hey, you want to do a paid sponsored collaboration post, whatever, blah, blah. But you'd see like they have 4 or 5 pictures posted, and they're all like posted within the last like 24 hours. Like, okay, that's a red flag. So I totally see what you're saying. I mean, obviously you have to start somewhere, but I think the more that you're posting and being relevant and being, okay, this is actually like a reputable person / business, that obviously makes a huge difference, especially when you have people that are actually putting out videos with your product. So it's very difficult. I think the social media presence can be, it can really kickstart and jumpstart your business and your brand, but it does take a little while to get going. Just keep plugging away. I mean, that's the best thing you can possibly do, is just continue to.
And obviously we're going to give you time to talk, right, about you, but it is incredibly scary putting yourself out there, because in many ways you are RIVL Golf, right? So, in many ways, like I am the face of my job that I work at, just with my position and, everybody I interact with. I am
vulnerable.
I represent the company I work for. Mm-hmm. It's scary to put yourself out there.
Creating videos and content. You're like,
well, it's like, it's exactly like what we're doing with this, right? Like at first there was no video because we didn't.
Yeah, just all audio.
It was all audio because we're like, we don't want to put our faces out there if this sucks.
Yeah.
And then we were like, the only way that this can be authentic And to be authentic to Derek and I is we gotta put our face on it, and obviously what you're doing does not involve your face, but these are your products. These are your followers. This is your account. It's scary. But at the same time, like I said earlier, you're aligning yourself with people that are doing a very, very good job talking about you, talking about your products. So even before talking to you, I've heard a lot about your clubs. I've looked at them online and I was like, damn, that's a cool, like, logo's great. The colors are great. The clubs themselves look great. And I want to get my hands on one just to like smack it a little bit.
I'll send you.
Smack it a little bit.
60 degree. I'm right-handed.
I'll send you 60.
Get him a left. Get him a left.
No, actually, yeah, no.
We don't have left-handed yet, unfortunately.
Okay.
But we will get into that left.
When you do, though, get
So
one for
hold on.
Dom.
When you
Create some
do,
content.
I know a guy who's a lefty, sexy lefty, Brendan.
Go Duff Daddy.
Yeah, we'll get you hooked up with Brendan from Duffin' Up. I actually chipped in with one of his left-handed clubs. That was
there you go.
the highlight of my life.
So let's talk about let's talk about the clubs. So you have you start off with wedges, right? So you got can you just kind of go through the different degree wedges? I'm assuming you probably cover most of the standard sizes.
It looks like all of them.
Yeah, we go anywhere from 50 to 60 every 2 degrees, and we don't do the 58 degree or the 48 degree yet. Might consider getting up to the 64, but it's not very popular. Probably going to try to expand on some other product line before we kind of get into the stuff that's really not the most popular.
I actually want something past 60. So if you ever do like a 64, 68, I would have the time of my life. So if you ever do it, let me know.
Do you keep like a handicap, or do you play in tournaments or anything?
No.
Like local men's clubs. So anything over a 64 degree wedge is not USGA conforming.
Perfect. I don't play anything USGA. Yeah.
Tom's not trying out for the tour anytime soon.
Listen, I have like a rough handicap through like Garmin and stuff like that. It's not great. It's not bad. It's definitely improved.
I didn't play enough golf this last year.
Well, you're supposed to say yes. It has improved.
Yes, it has improved.
Thank you.
Yes.
So
that's why I'm saying you should start left-handed. You need to, now you can be more versatile.
Be ambidextrous.
Exactly.
Somebody will sign me.
I'll
get $765 million.
Exactly. My go-to favorite wedge is a 52 degree. I love my 52.
Really?
I'm a 60 guy.
What do you play? 52, 56, 60?
That's what I do.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've never actually personally hit a 50, so I don't know. But my 52, it's weird. So like I love my 60, but my 52 from like 110 to like 80 is like that's my number.
Yeah, that's a good distance. I would say 50, 56, and 60 are the most popular selling clubs. And then 54 has kind of been really popular recently too.
So we've obviously played plenty of golf, but we're not like enthusiasts when it comes to like dissecting the club itself. Can you kind of just go into like the 8 degree bounce and the 10 degree, but can you talk a little bit about that? I mean, is that something like for me, like 2 years ago, I was like right around a 12.6 handicap, but it's probably gone up a little bit. So I haven't played a whole lot of golf, but
I should find out my handicap is.
So what is that? Just for somebody who's maybe not too familiar with that, can you kind of describe that or explain it?
Yeah. So we've just got a standard universal bounce right now. Obviously we're not as big as like a Titleist or a TaylorMade or anything. Most of the time you want, not yet, right? No, normally you want a higher bounce if you're going to be like in the bunker. If you're on tight lies, you want more of a lower bounce. So it also depends on where you are throughout the country. Like out here in the desert, it's very tight. It's very hard ground. So you probably want a little bit more of a lower bounce. When you're in an area where there's like fluffy grass, like probably Minnesota, you probably want a little bit more of a bigger bounce. But also, if you're more of a lower handicap, you're going to want a lower bounce as well. And then if you're a higher handicap, you probably want a higher bounce because that's just going to help you kind of like get underneath the club rather than like kind of digging into the ground. Because most of the time, the higher handicaps really aren't really compressing the ball that much. So it really kind of helps to have that higher bounce.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
I'm about a 15 handicap.
There we go.
14.7.
Yeah.
No way I'm rounding down. Rounding up.
So you got you have several different types of wedges. They come in different colors, or you have your silver and your black. You talked about you don't have lefties yet, but is that something you're talking about doing down the line here?
Yeah, we'll definitely have lefties, righties, everything. So we have irons. Well, right now I have a set of prototype irons that I'm kind of testing out for myself to see if I like them. They're forged blades.
So hold on, hold on. You can't talk about it and reach for them and not pull one up.
Can you show us or no? That was gonna be one of my questions. And what if you're gonna move into some irons?
Yeah, we are. So these are the forged
Ooh,
irons we got right here. So we're probably
I'm a big
not gonna
fan
come out.
of I'm a big fan of clubs that are like pretty minimally branded.
Yeah.
Like it's just clean looking. And I like the prototype wording. I don't know. That's a clean looking club.
How long have you been using those?
So I've had these for probably about 3 months now. They won't be clubs that we're going to come out with initially. I just kind of wanted something for myself, but we'll probably come out eventually down the road with like a cavity back or more of like a player's improvement club. Cause I think that's where we're at right now, right? Like I can't really reach out to people who are scratch golfers and expect them to want to use our product until I think we have a little bit more recognition as maybe an official brand type deal. So we're probably more of a player's improvement brand right now, but eventually we hope it to turn into everything. So we'll have blades, cavity backs, muscle backs, player improvement irons, all of the above.
Very cool. And as far as like availability, is everything pretty easy to like if we ordered a wedge, you can get it within a few days type of deal? Is everything kind of fully stocked?
Yeah, if you're in San Diego, I think you get it in a day. If you're in Pennsylvania, you'll get it in 4 or 5 days.
Okay.
And we cover shipping too. So it doesn't matter. I mean, even our golf gloves that are $15, but right now they're on sale for $13. And then we do a 3 for $33 deal. That covers shipping as well. So that covers shipping from San Diego all the way to New York.
Wow, that's impressive. Yeah,
That's a great price for gloves.
So these are our gloves that we have, right? So we just came out with these. They're premium Cabretta leather gloves. And the reason why I did this, because we have other DTC competitors for brands, right? Obviously. Mm-hmm. Some of them are charging $45 a glove, which not even Titleist charges you $45 for a glove. And Titleist sells it to the store. And maybe they sell it for $30. So Titleist isn't even making the full $30. So some of these DTC brands that are cutting out the middleman are making it so much money. I mean, you look at these Black Friday sales, they're like, some of them say 50% off of everything. They're not giving it away. They're not losing money on that, right? So they're making 50% margins plus whatever they're making right now on the Black Friday sale. I'm not interested in making a bunch of money. I'm really not. I'm interested in growing the game of golf, and it's just too expensive. You got drivers that are $600, golf bags that are $400, golf towels that are $45, gloves that are $45, irons that are $1,500. You got wedges that are $200. You got golf balls that are like, I just went and played Monero with Birdie Fever. I paid $85 for a dozen TP5s, TP5Xs, TaylorMates. It's insane how much they're charging for those things. And I know that they purchased those things for $20 to $30 from TaylorMade.
And that doesn't even include you actually playing golf.
No, it doesn't. It does not include golf. That's insane, the thing. It's like there's not a lot. I'll be honest with you. If you're at a public golf course, there's not a lot of money. The golf courses don't make a ton of money. It's a very high cost if you're a public golf course. If you're a private golf course, you make all your money in membership dues and you're in the membership business, and it's cash flow throughout the year. But if you're in a public golf course and you have a bad month or a bad few months or a bad week because of weather, you're scraping by. You're working really hard to make pennies. So golf necessarily can't be more affordable, but golf equipment can be more affordable.
Well said.
And that's our goal.
That makes total sense. I mean, obviously we're here in Minnesota, so we're very limited with our weather.
I feel like we align ourselves with people who, think exactly like you do, where they're like, hey, how can we make this more affordable? That's a big reason we're partners in Odin, and we work with Four Bros and their gloves, and also all these like Pare with the hats, and all these companies are out there doing the same thing you're doing. And I wish more companies would kind of catch on to that, because it's not, everyone is like, oh, golf's dying. It's like, no, they're killing golf.
Yeah.
Like you said, $200 for a wedge is ridiculous. I obviously yours are on sale right now for the holidays. I'm assuming,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
Christmas.
$79.
$79 free shipping.
But even
Shipping.
$100 is or 99, whatever it is. That's a super good deal.
I think that's a good price. Like you, right? There's other DTC companies that you can buy 3 wedges for $120. That's not our market, and our market aren't the people that want to pay $180 for a wedge. Our market is the people who want a premium quality wedge that's just as good as those $180 wedges that are willing to pay $99 for it. And I think there's a huge market out there for that. And because it's just too much to buy golf equipment now, it's too expensive.
Those deals scare me. You know how like you're talking about running ads and then they're like
for 99.
Well, no. But they were like, you know, you're like, I don't want to run an ad, and somebody click on it and you only have, 500 followers.
Yeah.
And you're like, God, that would suck. I would those like 3 wedges for like 120. It's like that freaks me out.
I would say so. I would say yes, because I'll tell you on 3 wedges, I can't sell 3 wedges for $120. It wouldn't work out for me, right? I wouldn't be able to
be around for much longer.
I wouldn't be around for much longer. I wouldn't be able to buy more inventory. I'm not trying to. These brands, I'm telling you something that really kind of it's these brands I was telling you about. These DTC brands, they just are not all of them, okay, but these major DTC brands. And maybe a lot of their costs comes from needing to advertise. So that's why that's why their prices are so high. But I can tell you right now, for some of these companies to charge $45 for a glove, okay, I buy my first set of gloves. We bought 300 gloves, okay. I can tell you right now, $45, I would be loaded if I could sell these things for $45. You know, it's insane that they're charging $45 and they're not buying 300. They're buying 10,000 at a time, right? So their price is
obviously going to be a lot cheaper.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. So it sounds like they can sell their wedges at a standard price, but they're making all their money in their golf gloves.
Well, and like what's interesting is like you have like a premium packaging with yours. Like, you know, when you held it up, it said RIVL in black. You flip it over, it's white. It's not just like a little Ziploc bag,
plastic clear bag.
You know what I mean? Like some of them come in, they're just like a little Ziploc bag, and then that. Yeah. Yours is like a nice packaging. It's a nice display. And for someone like me who loses gloves all the time, like I this past season alone, I lost 2 G4 gloves. I lost my 7-iron glove, which I'm still really sad about. My OJ glove. Sorry, JD, if you're listening.
We need to give you just like we need to get you like just with a belt with just like one attached.
Well, you know, we were sent those.
Yeah, I know. $13. That's crazy.
So yeah, it's like that for somebody like me who loses shit all the time. Enticing.
I'm telling you, on that $13, I'm making barely anything on it, right? But it's not about, I've got to make a little bit, right? But it's more about growing that game of golf. And these other brands, I don't think they care about growing the game of golf. I mean, you have a company out there that's like known, the official towel of golf, DCC, right? They're charging $45 for their towel.
It's an official towel of golf?
It's not. It's like it's the first DTC brand that came out with the magnetic golf towels. And we won't name names, okay? But they want to charge $45 for a golf towel. Why? I bought 100, and if I'm telling you, if I'm buying 100 towels, they're buying 10,000 towels, right? And the fact that they want to charge $45 and I can still make money and free shipping and do this for $25, sell for $25. What they just want to line their pockets. They don't care about growing the game of golf, honestly.
Which is kind of unfortunate because you think DTC companies, the whole idea is to
cut out the middleman, make it more affordable.
Yeah, you're making money, but you also want to put out a product at an affordable price for the consumer, right?
But I also think that it's part of, they see, okay, well, the stores are charging that much money, right? So I can charge that much money because they can't go anywhere else to get it cheaper. Right. So there needs to be, there are brands. This isn't every brand, right? But it's the major DTC brands. I mean, Tacoma's great. Their irons are affordable, right? They're not $1,500. So I think they're doing it right. But there's other brands out there that are charging even more than what Titleist or TaylorMade or Cleveland is charging for towels and gloves and clubs and accessories, and it's insane to me. And I mean, I think they get it to a degree, but I just think that they're ripping people off, and I think some people are buying into it. When I think that this glove is probably just as good, honestly.
You've literally like
I'm gonna lose it the exact same way.
You've literally like answered like probably at least 3 or 4 of the questions I was gonna ask you.
Okay.
But do you plan on doing like custom
Damn it,
fittings
Taylor.
or like stampings? I know like there's a lot of different ways to do. I mean, I know you're fairly
Yeah.
new. You just started, but are these things that you're thinking about the next
Bro,
couple of years?
if my wedges said Dom on them, I'd fight a bear.
I'll get you some Dom gloves on, or clubs for sure. Yeah, that's what we do want to do that. So I'm not like trying to build this overnight, right? I understand it's going to take time. I'm not spending money on advertising. It's just through marketing. Like our advertising is marketing, and it's by giving away our products to people who guess the distance. That's our number one marketing, and it's working.
Trying to be as organic as possible too. Like, hey, I want you to try this and actually give us feedback and let me know how you feel.
And most of the time people post about it and they say they like it, and maybe they're lying to me. But for right now, I mean, our followers are growing. I have people that are return customers that are buying our gloves that continue to come back and buy our wedges. What was your question? I lost my train of thought.
Oh, it's talking about like, I mean, down the road, I mean, maybe a couple of years from now, like custom club fittings or stamp, like the stamping and all that.
Yeah, we plan on doing everything. So kind of just as like a Titleist. So what we want to do is be a Titleist or be a tailor-made of direct to consumer. So I think down the road, we want to have carry bags. We want to have super light bags. We want to have staff bags. We want to have drivers, wedges, putters, blades, mallets, irons, player improvement,
Everything.
We want to have everything, right? We want to be like a major brand. That's the goal. I don't think it's going to happen overnight, but eventually, yes, we'll do fitting. We'll do all that stuff. We're not going to go inside of the stores. So we probably will have like kind of something like PXG does, where they have their own little shops that you can cut throughout the country and you can go get fitted. So that's the goal for that.
That'd be really cool. That's a good idea.
I went to the PXG shop and there's one over here in that mall that's really dead. Just the guys.
There was one in Mall of America too, or not Mall of America, excuse me. Well, there might be, but there's one actually. There was one at the airport, which is kind of wild.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't at the airport, but they looked super bored in there.
It's a sweet spot though. I mean,
I went through and walked around. I realized that nothing PXG makes I'm interested in.
So we have like a local like a restaurant slash simulator place.
A couple.
Yeah, but they have an exclusive deal with PXG. So
the one that doesn't like us.
No, they actually. I sent you a thing. I don't know if you saw that, but they're moving to their 5-iron. I sent you a thing the other day.
What then? You didn't send me anything.
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah, you didn't respond, you jerk. Thanks. No, but anyways,
you left them on
yeah.
red.
So anyway, PXG. So I mean, I've hit their clubs, but again, I mean they're nice, but I don't know if I was to go out and spend.
I'm not a skulls guy. A lot of their stuff has like skulls on it. That's my only gripe is I just don't like the skulls. Not really. What?
I mean, I'm not really a big.
Have you ever looked at me and went like skulls?
No, but like going back to like what you're saying though, I think that's a good idea. Like they're still direct to consumer, but they have these little hubs where they can offer the service.
I actually didn't know that.
They do, but I think they're a brand that charges a lot as well. I mean, you see their promotions. They're like, get $200 off of this driver. What do you mean get $200 off of this? Like, how much?
So you're giving it to me for free?
Well, they've got like drivers that are $250, and then you've got drivers that are like $600 or $500 or something like that, and you can get $200 off. I mean, they're throughout the year when they're not having promotions, they're making massive margins, and that's okay if that's what they want to do. But that's not what we want to do. We want to grow the game of golf. Making $400 on a driver or more is what they're probably making on their high-end driver. That's not growing the game of golf.
That's my other issue with PXG is there's stuff like I'm sure the quality's there and I'm sure they're nice, but like, $200 off a driver, you're like, oh man, I'm spending, $200-$300. And then they're like, no, you're still spending $600. Yeah. And you're like, good Lord. And it's not in-house, it's some other company's driver that they just put PXG on. And
I mean, they're not bad, but I wouldn't.
I hit
Go out there and spend top dollar on them.
Whenever there's like a douchey guy on the golf course, it's almost always PXG. So that almost always ruins it for me too. Somebody told me a story. I don't remember. I don't know if it was on the podcast or somewhere else, but they're like, yeah, this like we accidentally hit a bomb of a drive into this dude. Like it was like a once in a lifetime type drive. Like a bomb.
This is like an old commercial, I think.
No, it actually happened, but it was like a once in a lifetime shot. And the dude waited for them. And he's like, did you hit into me? And they're like, hey, man, like, we're so sorry. PXG shirt, PXG hat, PXG pants, PXG bag, PXG irons. And I'm like, just move. Like just kick your ball and leave.
All those reels you see of everybody fighting, those are all the PXG people.
That's how I feel. Like I was explaining it to my friend because I was there with her. She's like, why is it so expensive? I'm like, because it's douchey.
Because it's douchey.
It's very expensive. It is.
Yeah. But going back to your
this is why
your brand.
This is why I'm not a spokesman for brands.
Yeah. We're really trying to. We're not trying to bash other brands. The whole idea is to give you the platform and talk about what separates your brand. And I think we're doing a good job of that. It's more or less like you said. You're not in there to make a gazillion dollars. You're trying to put out a product that's good quality, but it's at an affordable price where somebody's not going to be like, that's outrageously expensive.
You're not secretly a gazillionaire, are you?
No, I'm a brokenaire.
Had to ask.
I love that. Yeah, we're all brokenaires. So I really wanted to ask. So I know, again, going back to you just kind of started this company, but is there like maybe like what's the most memorable feedback you've gotten since you started this company? Because I know sometimes those positive comments or whatever it might be can really, really help you propel or review. Exactly. Reviews. Have you had any of those that really stick out?
I would not say one in particular. I would say all of them collectively. I think all of them collectively, all the videos, all the feedback, all the return customers collectively have made me feel confident that people like our branding. They like our logo. They like the simplicity of our golf clubs, like you guys were saying. They like how affordable it is. They feel that it's premium quality at an affordable price. I think all of it collectively. And then I feel like it is true also because we continue to gain followers, right? I mean, followers is big, right? And DTC, when you're trying to, when basically the way that you sell is through social media, I think that's big. And people continuing to buy and come back, I think, is what collectively makes me feel like we're doing a good job.
Sure. Are you trying to like maybe down the road do some like sponsors as far as like events or even like
up and coming podcast,
or just like influencers in general? I mean, obviously there's been companies that have went towards that direction. Like we don't have to even reach out to a professional golfer. We can literally have a YouTube influencer. Is that something that you're trying to pursue down the road?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what Wilson did. I think that's also another good way to reach out to people that aren't following me or for brand awareness is to get people who have 20, 40, 50, 100, 160, 250,000 followers and reach their audience, right? And so kind of Wilson did that same thing, right? Like Wilson doesn't really, I mean, they went to all these influencers and now a ton of these influencers are using Wilson. And I would assume that it helped Wilson gain followers and it also helped them gain sales as well. And I think I think it's just better that way to reach a larger audience and gain more followers than the advertising for me right now. I mean, the advertising is expensive. The ROAS, it isn't that great. So yes, if we do want to do that, we do want to sponsor events. We do want to sponsor podcast events as well. And then the big goal one day is to like sponsor a PGA Tour event. So like they have the Amex at the PGA West here out in La Quinta, and the goal is to sponsor an event like that, kind of like the Wells Fargo or the Zozo or the Amex. Like that's our goal.
I think that's much more organic too, because at the end of the day, the influencers are still normal golfers, right? They're not professional. They're not on any kind of tour. I don't know if you listened a couple of weeks ago when we had Cobalt Golf on.
Yeah, I have seen.
They're their only like sponsor, or if you ever want to call them sponsored, is Micah Morris. And now after Alan said that, I keep seeing the Micah Morris ad pop up on my Instagram of him using the rangefinder. And to me, that's just the most organic and authentic way to do sponsors or stuff like that, because at the end of the day, they're normal golfers, right? Like,
for sure.
you know, it's not like you're Tiger Woods or
they're obviously, not to interrupt you, but they're obviously.
Well, you did.
Sorry, but it was stuck in my brain. But because Callaway has kind of done that too with Bobby Berger, all these guys.
It was good. Like
so
that.
a lot of them, they've been kind of going to that, but like kind of going back to what Dom said is like it's not Tiger Woods and all those other professional athletes, but these guys are pumping out videos on the regular. So it's like they're constantly getting this attention and this viewership because they're always doing a 1v1, 2v2.
I think the beauty in doing influencers too is they post their good and bad rounds, assuming that they're like legit, right?
So it's relatable.
Well, like look at Bubby, for example, from Good. I don't know if you follow them or anything.
Yeah.
Bubby has the most wicked slice I have ever fucking seen. And I have a pretty bad one.
I saw his video the other day where he hit that like it was like a ping pong ball into like that metal, like there was like no way that it could fit in there.
Well, where I was going with that is, you know, we have all these new clubs saying, "Oh man, we'll fix your slice. You just got to use this club." And a lot of it was Callaway. Well, Bubby comes along and he's still hitting duck hooks. So for me, that means, hey, your average golfer is still going to improve, because now we've seen him gradually improve and get straighter. Same thing like with Steve from them. It's like you can actually grow with these clubs, and it's not like a one and done type product, but it shows like the good and bad of the products, right? Everything's got a pro and a con. You know, obviously we're going to sit here and we're going to talk up your products, but I'm sure there's a pro and a con for some people.
Of course.
I don't see any cons other than it's not this huge fancy brand, which I'm not a big fan of. Like everything I'm wearing is not a big fancy brand. We got Lalo with New Wave Golf, keeping my dome warm. Thank you, Lalo.
Shout out Lalo.
And I got my back nine hoodie, my back nine bullies hoodie on, thanks to John. Neither of those are like these really huge, massive brands out in golf, but it's like some people may see that as a con. I don't care. Like those two guys rock with us, and I'm a rock with them. That's how I look at it. I think that's how more people should look at it. I'm definitely interested in your clubs. I've heard enough good things about them that I think you're going to do well. It's just going to come down to getting the right person and the right time. And, you know, like you said, it's all like collectively, it's been pretty positive. I'm sure you're going to get those nasty emails every now and then. We all do. Happens. I'm surprised nobody's complaining about me on this podcast.
Oh, I had to delete a bunch of them.
Thank God. But like, there's a pro and a con. I think influencers do a great job, especially the honest ones, being like, hey, I had a really bad round today. Here's what I shot. And then, hey, I had a really good round today. Here's what I shot. I think that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, it's relatable. Like,
yeah.
Well, they have, I think, like to what you guys were saying, there is a viewership, right? Like it is probably more cost effective for these brands to give these influencers free product to use the product than it is for them to pay for commercials or for them to pay for advertising. And with that, there's more viewership on social media than there is on any given weekend for the PGA Superstore. Like, I think the influencers, they had an event over there in Arizona, and I think they said that they had more views than what the PGA Tour view got on because they were on live or something on YouTube.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, makes sense. It's a great point that you, yeah. I know we're kind of getting closer here to the end. Is there anything, we'll do some rapid fire questions here shortly.
Did you ask him that? Because I'm kind of interested.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Did I zone out?
Yep.
Okay.
But is there anything that maybe we missed that you'd like to add or mention?
No, I mean, RIVL Golf is we've kind of talked about this already, but we are trying to grow the game of golf by making it more affordable while offering the same quality equipment as the major brands. We will continue to grow. That's the goal. We're going to just one step at a time. We're not going out and finding funny. I'm by myself in this right now, and I'm not out there getting investors. Because if I get somebody to give me a stack of money to go and buy all the merchandise that I can possibly get on, then I have to raise my prices, because then I have to start paying them back and I have to give them a percentage of the profits. And I don't want to do that. I really want to keep this more affordable for everybody. I'm never going to charge anybody $45 for a glove. Never going to charge anybody $45 for a towel, $450 for a golf bag, $600 for a driver, $600 for a putter, $1,500 for a set of irons. It's going to be affordable. It's going to be premium quality. Everything that we come out with, we buy at least 10 of from each we buy a product from 10 different manufacturers and test it all out. And whichever we find is best is the one that we're going to come out with. I've been golfing since I was 10 years old. And so I'm kind of picky on my equipment. I'm kind of a decent golfer, but right now I really lost my swing. It's really bad. But I know the good quality. I know premium products. I've been in the golf industry since I was 16, golf since I was 10. So everything that we're going to come out is going to be premium quality. And if we hear anything different from anybody, then we'll go ahead and change that. But honestly, we really haven't had too many bad feedbacks. I guess one thing is my buddy lives in Arizona and he went to the Play It Again Sports and he found a set of our wedges at the Play It Again Sports. And so he was talking about, like, oh, somebody turned in your wedges at Play It Again Sports. I'm like, that's actually pretty cool. Because you see,
that's what I was thinking.
You see Mizuno, you see Cleveland there, and hey, now we've got rival wedges in a Play It Again Sports, so I think it's kind of cool.
That is. Did he take a picture of it? You should be like, yeah, you got to send a picture of that. That's pretty dope.
He didn't. No, he didn't.
What if they were his wedges?
They could have been his wedges. They're not.
He just had a bad round that day, and he was just like, I'm done.
No,
not only was the wedges, it was his whole set.
Well, like when you were saying that, I'm like, that's pretty cool because now somebody's gonna buy them and go, I like these. Don't know who they are. They're gonna Google it.
Good conversation.
They're gonna find you, and boom, follower.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's really cool. I don't look at it as a bad thing. I look at it as, hey, I'm inside of a store. I'm inside of a retail store. It's kind of cool.
You didn't have to pay to get into.
Exactly.
There you go. By the way, beautiful bag.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. So we're sold out of these right now. We do have 100 of them coming on their way. So we're super excited to get these back out. And then we have 100 black ones coming as well, because white's not for everybody.
Sure.
We have hats coming. We have shirts coming.
I like that hat. That's sick. Bless.
Yeah. So this is actually a sample hat from the manufacturer that I wanted to make sure that it fit well. And this is the one that I like the most. So they actually are making the hats are in production right now.
Nice. That's very cool. So, I didn't even mention it because we didn't really talk about like drivers and all that, but I'm assuming you'll probably you'll do covers and all that other stuff too down the road.
Everything that you can imagine golf, we're going to do everything. We're going to do streetwear. We're going to do polos. We're going to do hats. We're going to do all golf equipment. We're going to do golf balls. We're going to do golf tees. I want RIVL to be a major brand, but affordable at the same time.
Such a great name too. Like, RIVL Golf. I mean, it literally, it's very fitting.
You guys know what our logo is?
I don't.
So our logo is, I always say this thing we started with wedges, right? So I always say this thing because I miss the green a lot, a green regulation. So when you miss the green, what do you want to get? You want to get an up and a down, right? Up and down.
Shut the fuck up.
That's what that means, right? So I'm biased because this is my brand, but I think this is the most relatable logo in golf. You look at TaylorMade's, Cleveland, Callaway's, anything, this is relatable to golf, up and down.
Very much so.
I would always say that I miss the green, up and down's a par, up and down's a par, up and down's a par.
It's like the save par, like, hey, I got to save par, but it's the same thing. Like, oh, we can get an up and down here.
That is so dumb, but I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah.
I'm mad. I didn't think, why didn't,
well, it's just like, it's a very, we talk about this like branding and logos, like the simplicity of a logo, and could really just make it pop.
You know what? You guys said this at the beginning. A lot of people, I've got a ton of people saying that they like the simplicity of the golf clubs. They feel like golf clubs that are out right now, a lot of golf clubs that are out right now, are too complicated, they're too complex, there's too much design to it. They just like the simplicity to it. And I think
everywhere there's all sorts of stuff. I don't know why.
So you know what's funny? I like my irons really complicated. Like I currently my bag, I have the L2DX from Cobra, so they're a couple years old now. To me, those are complicated. Like that's a weird ass club. There's all sorts of technology. If my wedges are too busy, I get flustered and don't know what to do. And I'm that way with my putter. That's why I like just a single blade. There's nothing too crazy.
More of a blade style.
That's why I loved your putter, like the prototype.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love just blades. When it comes to my short game, I haven't been playing as long as you have, obviously, but when it comes to my short game, I'm kind of picky. I like my wedges real simple. Just, not any real branding. My putter, same way. Like right now it's Mizuno, but like top down, it's very basic. And that's how I've always looked for my putters. If they're too big, they freak me out. If there's too many like edges and feet and stuff like that, it freaks me out. I don't know. I enjoy your simplicity.
Yeah, I think simplicity is the way we're obviously when you get into like player improvement clubs, you can kind of like design it in a way that's a little bit more than simple because it is a bigger backing to it.
Mm-hmm.
So we may get into that, but yeah, we're super simple right now. But again, we'll trends change and we'll keep up with the trends.
Well, let us know how we can help. We'd love to get a couple of wedges in our hands, but we'd love to obviously help promote it too. Like I said, I know right now we're in Minnesota, but we have some indoor places that we could obviously create some content. So
next week we're doing a little something.
Yeah. So
all right, yeah, I'll send you guys some wedges for sure. I'd love to hear you guys' feedback, absolutely, and do something with.
We're not playing golf outside because on Thursday there's a high of 6.
Okay.
Like singular, like not 6D, not 16.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah.
But like next week we have a really fun guest and it's a really big Minnesota company and we're doing it indoors at a simulator place. So we're kind of excited.
Yeah, it's kind of cold here today. It was 66. That's the high.
Come on now.
It was 22, but it's like a really wet 22, so it's cold.
Yeah, cold. Yeah, I'm from Chicago.
Nice.
I didn't actually show you. I got to show you a photo. So I live in a high rise. My wife and I lived in a high rise down here, downtown Minneapolis.
We're on the 25th floor.
And so we face downtown, and as you can kind of see. But anyway, we had some really, really high winds, and I have never seen them this bad. And we have patio furniture out there that I've kind of we have tarped off. But anyway, long story short, all of a sudden I heard this noise, and I look. We have like we're attached to our Skyway system, so we have like a convenience store and a liquor store, all this, like a barbershop down below on the main level. Well, the wind had caught part of the roof. And it's funny because I work in the roofing industry, the commercial side. The whole roof.
You can sell roofing.
The whole roof flipped over. And
wow.
It's wild. I'll show you the picture.
This smacked the Skyway?
Wow.
No, it landed kind of just on top of it.
I thought you were going to say your furniture.
Skyways are hard to describe, but they're kind of like tunnels that we can basically walk through all year. They're heated and everything. Yeah. So like we can get from here to Target Field.
New York City.
That'd be sick. Want to start walking? No. We can kind of get everywhere connected. That way we're not on the streets when it's super dense.
Yeah, I wish we had simulators like you guys, but we don't have that. I mean, they have some like in Los Angeles and San Diego, but we don't have it out here.
I don't feel bad for you.
You're in
it's 124 degrees, but it's 124 in the summer. And it's $250 to play around a golf right now.
It's wild.
But it's a dry 124.
That's still hot. I don't care.
It is dry. It's not humid. You are right. I would prefer a dry 124 than a humid 99 degrees for sure.
I don't know.
Oh God.
I don't know. If
you think my hair's big now, the humidity makes it.
I will say though, dry heat, like 100 dry heat's not a big deal, but 100,
I can say that
because the 120s, that's pushing. I played golf in the 120s, and it was bad.
I can say that because I've never been in a dry heat.
Yeah, no,
when do you event? Oh, your event's coming up here soon at Brookside?
It's in May, so it'll be
starting to cook.
Yeah.
Oh,
but it should be 120, so we'll be good. Right?
No, not in LA. Absolutely not. No, you guys will probably be high 80s, low 90s at that time. But that's kind of you guys are right next kind of the ocean.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, couple of quick rapid fire questions, and we'll wrap it up. Yep. First one: I'll say what's your favorite club in your bag, but maybe I'll say what's your favorite wedge in your bag.
My favorite wedge is my 56 degree,
56 degree? Okay.
or a pitching wedge.
Or pitching wedge.
Can we actually see the face of the wedge? I don't think we ever.
Yes.
Because I know different companies do different things with their faces.
So our face. Let me grab. So what I want you to hear. So these are micro.
Just rip a shot right now out of the bedroom.
Stop! He's gonna ASMR it.
I don't know if you can hear this. Can you hear this?
No, but I
Okay,
like
so-
to think I can.
So it's on the side. So these have micro milled grooves in here, which is going to help provide you with as much backspin as like the major brands. So you'll see them kind of on the Clevelands. You'll see them maybe a little bit on the Callaways as well. But yeah, it's kind of like it looks like I want you to. Can you see
think
that?
it kind of reminds me of
Like,
CG50.
It's almost like a high toe, so it just doesn't go all the way over, like the top grooves. You see what I mean?
Yeah. It's gonna give you as much. It gives you as much spin. I have a post on one of the reels from the beginning. I should do it again, but it gives you as much, if not a little bit more spin than all the major brands that are sold inside a PGA Superstore.
Very cool. There was one question I did forget that I wanted to ask that I forgot earlier. As far as grip, what type of grips come with the club, the wedges?
So right now we have two grips. We have half corded black grips, right? So it's half corded up here. I wanted to do half corded because corded gives you more grip to your club rather than having a non-corded grip.
Mm-hmm.
And the goal was more control, right? So more control means you can hit the ball to where you want to more often. And then we also have these as well, which is the half white, which we're kind of transitioning over to these, the half white, half black.
Sure.
You guys have an opinion?
I kind of like the half white, half black.
I do too.
So I have a wedge similarly with that grip, but I've also I like the Golf Pride, like the tacky grip.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So I have a wedge with that too, but it's weird. I kind of like my irons and my driver with the tacky grip, and I'll use my wedge with the similar grip like that.
Yeah,
I like the almost bald grips, like the lambkin, like almost like non-existent. I really like those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a lot of people like those on their way. A lot of if you go to the major brands, they don't sell not really half corded grips on their wedges. More of it's like that smooth type grip at the bottom.
Yep. I like that. Looks good. Okay, so favorite club, you said 56 degree
or pitching wedge.
Yep. You want to ask the next one?
And it's pitching wedge because honestly, a lot of people when you're just off the green. Okay, you're on the fringe, you're just off the green. People are trying to hit their 56 or their 60 degree because they like seeing the ball. They like seeing the ball go high, which
I do a little bump and run.
100%. I use pitching wedge a lot when I'm on the side of the green, unless like there's a bunker in front of me, of course, and I got to use a 15, 6, 60. But it's so easy because when you're chipping, you are supposed to, let's say you have a 30-foot chip, okay? All you need to do is pick something 10 feet in front of you and let it roll out to the hole versus some people want to use a 60 degree or a 56 degree, and then they've got to hit it 28 feet for it to go to the 30 feet. And I just think there's a lot more room for error there, whether you skull it or chip it or skull it or chunk it or whatever it may be. I think there's a lot less air with a pitching wedge.
I think that's where my game has really improved. I don't know if you kind of picked up on it, but I used to really want to. I used to really want to just do, because it's sexy, right? Like there's nothing sexier than a nice flop. Playing with Chaz and Jess, and we weren't playing that super nice course, but we're walking up to the green, and I'm a little short, and I have my 3-wood in my hand, and they're like, "You're like 10 feet from the green." I'm like, "Yeah, but I'm like 20 feet from the hole." Like I just do a little like a little bump and run, just kind of get the momentum. They're like, "I think that's a bad idea." And I'm like, I'm full of bad ideas. So like, let's just give it a shot. Like at the end of the day, right? It's just golf, right? It's a game. I'm not making money off golf. We're not making money on the podcast. We're not making money on golf, anything. Don't care. Hit this little bumper and run, and I'm like 4 feet from the hole. And they're like, yeah, we're letting you do whatever you want to do now. This is all while I'm playing in socks because I didn't like the shoes I was wearing, and my socks are wet. And I'm like, I probably look wild.
Like, who is this guy?
Have you played barefoot?
What?
Barefoot?
Have you played barefoot outside, like barefoot?
No, so I had wanted to play with shoes, but the shoes I was wearing rubbed my ankle raw.
Yeah.
It's like I had a blister forming, and I didn't want to circle back to my car and grab my other pair. So I'm like, let's just take them off and play with the socks. And
but you can play barefoot too. That's a thing. A ton of people play barefoot. Have you done that or no?
No, and I don't want to. It freaks me out.
That's amazing.